Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is an heavyweight contest to be fought over 6 5-minute rounds. One fall, one submission, or a knockout decides the winner. Introducing in the blue corner, from Africa, Honey Boy Zimba. In the red corner, from Crewe, the Commonwealth mid-heavyweight champion, Count Bartelli. Ladies and gentlemen, your referee for all contests, Mr. Gordon Smith. Thank you very much.
Hello Grapple fans, good afternoon to you and welcome once again to the De Montfort Hall here in Leicester. Another freestyle wrestling session coming your way, and we start this afternoon's program with a heavyweight bout between Count Bartelli, there he is, from Weston near Crewe at 15 stone 4, the Commonwealth heavyweight champion, and his opponent with his back to us, Honey Boy Zimba from Sierra Leone, West Africa. 14 stone 13 is the mid-heavyweight man here going up one weight today against Bartelli.
Checking down round one.
So easily identifiable here. Look at that light leotard of Bartelli's. That's a new one. I've never seen him in that before. Gordon Smith, the referee. Gordon Smith from Hebden Bridge. And this is a 6 5-minute round contest, and the first fall decides it. Of course, it's the first fall, submission, or knockout. The only 3 ways, apart from disqualification, that one can score in freestyle wrestling. Great deal, quite a bit shorter than Zimba, quite a bit shorter than Bartelli, of course, where he gets Bartelli gets the extra weight from. But what experience this man Bartelli has had. He's already got the trophy this Jubilee year for the best service to wrestling. And I think that's a pretty good trophy to hand to him. Yes, well, this is bound to be a powerhouse struggle, this one. Both very powerful Indians. The man on the left from Sierra Leone has got a 19.5-inch neck. And he can take a bridge pretty comfortably. So the double arm, both men trying it. Neither can do much from there. I think they've obviously got to agree to a break here.
I got him. I got him.
But they're not agreeing to a break. In fact, Zimba gets over the top nicely, but he should have followed it up. All from Maurice Lever, but he goes a little too close with his head. Just trying to follow through the cross press there, but failed quite a way. He may even be sorry he tried it now. Just a minute left in this first round of 6. One fall decides it. The short arm scissors by Bartelli. Thinking of trying a roller in the short arm scissors. Now he has another chance. Half a minute to go. There's the short arm scissors still on. But Bartelli doesn't look too comfortable with it. In fact, it is the power of Zimba getting up with a man on his shoulder. And it's still in the short arm scissors. Now he walks in with the ropes and automatically gets the break. And Bartelli has seen that too often. There's the power of this man's biceps. Just a couple of seconds left in this first round. Count Bartelli from Crewe, from Western actually, just near Crewe, 15 stone 4. And I've got a picture right here in front of me of him lifting a donkey, which weighs about 500 or 600 weight, I think, just quite easily in his arms. He's always said that he could do this, but now I've seen it actually in a photograph. That's how he does a lot of training.
Second down, round 2.
Round 2, 5 rounds to go, and no score, of course, because this is a one-fall contest. First fall finishes the bout. And a nice knee drop there by the powerful Zimba, giving away just a few pounds to Count Bartelli. Now with feeling back. He's had a bit of back trouble in his career, so a move like that was going to bring it back. Getting the arm lock. It's the first time I've ever seen Zimba wear those leather wristbands. They're very soft leather, not quite like Alan Denison's style, but it's a new one to see him wear them at all. So he's in the flying head scissors, it still doesn't work. He's got to get it all the way over the top. Quite happy to remain there, of course, Bartelli, with that simple arm lock on, always trying to hold it so that his opponent can't turn into the move. He tried it then. Crossbody, but the arm lock is still there. A pretty good heavyweight strength bout just to lead up to the main bout of the afternoon, which of course is for the British welterweight title between Vic Faulkner and Jimmy Breaks, the holder. That's the one the crowd here. Nice, he went all over the top then, but through the ropes. That's the one the crowd here, this packed crowd here at Leicester. All the seats taken and they're standing quite a bit too. Here to see, hoping against hope, that Vic Faulkner, who they were quite sure was done out of his title, Jim Breaks, gets a chance this afternoon to get it back. You know, I hope there's no needle creeping into this. Gordon Smith, the referee's had a little to do up to now, apart from pinfall counts. It's a little under 2 minutes to go in the second round of 6. Oh. There's that caught him left thigh. Very little inch weight-wise. Zimba giving away a couple of pounds or so to Bartelli. One minute. He slid out of that nicely, allowing Bartelli to get the side headlock, but placed out of the ring, which of course is the same as going through the ropes, and therefore he gets the break. Backhammer Bartelli. He's got 30 seconds to make this one count. Remember, he's in the back as he tries that. He made it. And he's got to make sure that his opponent will release before he goes. Be very dangerous. Flying body scissors on the bell. Bartelli going over to Zimba then, as if he was a little angry, but no, he's just to shake hands. There he is, Honey Boy Zimba from Sierra Leone, West Africa, 15 stone 2. Remember the limit, the mid-heavyweights, 14 stone 13. This great bodybuilder, even before coming to the UK in the first place, now lives in Manchester. Turned pro in the mid-60s.
Seconds out, round 3.
Round 3, 4 rounds to go. No score, 1 fall decides this bout. And here we are at the De Montfort Hall, Leicester, for this great preliminary contest of heavyweight, Count Bartelli versus Honey Boy Zimba. Bartelli, there he is in the leotard. Apology from Zimba. The referee had nothing to do with that at all. It was just, I think, an accidental butt to the head that was not intentional at all, and therefore he decided to apologize for it. To Bartelli's cheek, I think. Probably caught the cheekbone. He's not too worried about it anymore. In fact, much more worried about these body slams. Oh yes. Zimba laying on that headbutt to the stomach on the way over. That's the back of the neck, giving him a full weight. Yes, and a knee drop again. And more back weakness that comes from Zimba now, the more chance he's got against the great Bartelli. Power, face down knee drop. Bartelli really taking a battering in this third round. And another. But this time Bartelli holding him beautifully on the way down. And yes, fooled him completely. Zimba having it all his own way with his weakness. Bartelli just biding his time, grabbed the head scissors on, and in 2 minutes 5 seconds of round 3, fooled his man completely. And Zimba now smiling, realizing how he fell for that. There's the master.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes 5 seconds of the third round. The winner by one fall to the champion, Count Bartelli. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's show what sports people we are here in Leicester. How about one for a great loser, Harry Boysen?
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, Honey Boy Zimba. You must be one of the strongest men in the world. If you're not, I don't want to meet the others. Before I go, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, thank you all for being a lovely audience. And on behalf of the other wrestlers who this evening received a presentation, I have been elected to say, on their behalf, thank you to World of Sport, and especially to Mr. Kent Walton, who so kindly, so very kindly, come on, take a bow. You are so often behind the scenes, but believe me, you are a very, very important cog in the wheel that is wrestling. Thank you, Mr. Kent Walton. Thank you as well, Brian, but I don't need to thank you, you're always in the public eye. Thank you all. I'll tell you one thing though, you know that beautiful big cup they've given me? Well, those of you who know me know I don't believe in idleness, that excludes myself, and I don't think that cup should be idle. I don't think it should stand on my sideboard. I think it ought to be made into a challenge cup. And if anybody, whether they be wrestlers, judo people, kung fu's or anything, would like to go for it, I'll put it up as a challenge cup. Okay?
Ladies and gentlemen, this contest is a contest what is going to be fought for the British welterweight title of Great Britain. Introducing in the red corner, the champion and the belt holder from Bradford, Jimmy Briggs. The challenger in the blue corner from Bolton in Lancashire, Vic Faulkner.
Just wondering whether Brian Crabtree is going to say anything else, because he hasn't mentioned the amount of rounds, I don't think, has he? It's 12 rounds. Jimmy Breaks is now shouting down at me. Jimmy Breaks shouting something at me that I didn't quite catch. Anyway, here it is. The title for the welterweight championship of Great Britain. Jim Breaks, the holder, on the right.
You will each receive a step for it, 2 public warnings. The third one will be an automatic disqualification. Shake hands now and good luck to you both.
And the challenger, Vic Faulkner of Bolton.
Seconds out, round 1.
And no doubt you spotted who was in Vic Faulkner's corner, maybe acting as his second here this afternoon for this title bout. His brother, Bert Royal. We'll see him no doubt in the interval. Vic Faulkner in the light mauve trunks, as always. Should have looked a little bit blue on my set. His opponent, of course, the holder, Jim Breaks. And I don't know if you remember it, Grapple fans, when back in March, I think, of this year, when Jim Breaks took the title off, I had enough letters about it, and I'm sure television companies all over the country had letters about the fact that the fans were beefing the way Jim Breaks got it. He did a bit of a snide trick behind the referee's back. Vic Faulkner lost his temper momentarily and hit him And of course he got disqualified because the referee spotted that. But maybe this afternoon is his chance for evening things up. The next 12 rounds will tell. 2 falls to decide. Vic Faulkner, with tears in his eyes, looking down at me from the ring on that occasion, saying, in all my career, I've never been disqualified. I don't think I've ever got a public warning, and this happens on a tighter bout. He really was upset about it. Of course, instigated by his opponent, which we all know, but the referee had his back just for a second to him, to the action at that moment. Jim Breaks, who's slightly over the 11 stone when he used to fight lightweight, now 11 stone 2. Vic Faulkner right in the middle of the bracket at 11-7. Both men so fast, and they each other know it, of course. But the other one is equally fast. It's probably going to be a very sudden switch move. It scores. So naturally, they're taking it a little bit slow and setting their sights a bit carefully in this first round of 12. Toe and ankle really turning around, but he won't go all the way. A couple of minutes to go in the first round. And that's the first bit of needle. I don't really know what Jim Breaks did wrong there, in Faulkner's opinion. The referee seems quite happy. But it was temper that got him in trouble last time. Faulkner going for a full Boston crab if he can get it. Sam Turner goes for the step over toe hold, bar through. His leg is through as a bar. He's got a minute to make it pay. There it is, the bar right through. Vic Faulkner's boot coming right through there, locking off that leg lock. Thrown off. That's the speed of Faulkner's throw off. This time breaks him a little bit quick. Just 5 seconds to go. Just a wee bit of needle creeping in, unfortunately, to the first interval here. Jim Breaks doesn't want to stay in his corner at all. In fact, he goes over and checks the top rope. For some reason, I don't know why. There he is, the former European lightweight champion, the former British lightweight champion, now the present holder of the welterweight belt of Great Britain.
Seconds out, round 2.
Vic Faulkner in the light trunks versus Jim Breaks for the British welterweight crown. 11 rounds to go, no score. speed of those, trying to reverse whip him, and he didn't go with it. Was that the hand? Was that the fist? The crowd say it was the fist. And Bert Royal, who's down there in a striped shirt, you can see him behind the referee there, complaining to the referee now that that looked like a fist. And landed right on the knees. Good backbreaker position. Faulkner trying to chase it up, but breaks as usual, goes down to the canvas to get out of trouble. Vicious head scissors, typical of Faulkner. He lays it on, that head scissors. Drake's trying to get his hands through to break those feet. And land up in some form of counter move. He's holding a folded leg, more or less, but not really as he wanted it. Agreeing to break. Now as they both stick to it. Faulkner very suspicious. After last time, who can blame him? Faulkner really is showing a bit of temperament here. Oh, beautiful. He walks right into that one. Crowd counting him out a little bit prematurely as Brace drops in on our table. But no damage either to himself or our monitors, I don't think. So it's Breaks going for his usual arm lever, but not the typical Breaks special submission. That, no doubt, he'll be trying during this bout. 2 minutes to go in the second round of 12. He's got one arm in the backhammer, going for the opposite arm too to try and turn his man. There, the shoulder blades are down. Count of 2 only. Breaks gives up on that one, but it is in it much too quickly before his man is up. Certainly Rick Faulkner has not forgiven his opponent for that, taking his title off him the way he did last time. With the hand. 1 minute to go, and it's Breaks starting to operate on the Faulkner nose. And Faulkner has other ideas. A bit of hair, pull the hair. Don't know where the Golden Smith spot did, but Faulkner has certainly shown him what happens now. It's a pity if this develops into just a fight like this. It's on a title, it depends on it. Half a minute. A bit close to deliver that forearm. By the time he's made up his mind whether he's going to or not, the bell will have gone. Vic Faulkner going over to his corner, and there in the striped shirt there is his brother Bert Royal. probably giving him some advice. In other words, I imagine he's probably saying, cool it just a little bit, because you're getting a bit needled too early in this. He's a dangerous fellow to get needled with.
Second down,
Round 3, 10 rounds to go. Faulkner coming across the ring with a drop kick. Only half connected. Actually over the top, double leg Nelson. Now Faulkner chance. Now, the crowd really standing up there as they saw a possibility of Faulkner getting the first score. Threatened, but he never landed. That's what he was disqualified for last time. Nicely. A little too much fighting, not enough wrestling at the moment. The bear hug by Breaks. Nicely twisted out. Again to the bear hug. Reverse double leg Nelson to the folder. Yes, yes, yes. He's got it. And Faulkner, very happy about that. And so is everybody else, as you can see and hear.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 1 minute, 50 seconds of the third round, the first fall to Vic Faulkner.
Bert Royal still looking worried, doesn't like this opponent at all, still advising his younger brother, Vic. Both these men, of course, the sons of the famous middleweight wrestler Vic Hessel, who retired a few years back.
second down, round 4.
9 rounds to go as we start the 4th, and Vic Faulkner in the light trunk, the challenger, leading the champion Jimmy Breaks by 1-4-0, and that would look awfully like it could have been the second. That's all he wants really, is to win 2-0 now. That would really complete his revenge. Jimmy Breaks trying to lay it on a little bit. Jimmy Breaks is thinking of that special arm submission of his. He likes his man standing up better when he applies it, but this will do for the moment. Breaks goes in on that arm submission once again. His second, Bert Royal, is still complaining to the referee. There he is, sitting down at the moment. Now he's standing up again, beefing about something to Gordon Smith, the referee. And Royal doesn't like what's happening at all. That's what he's doing with the right hand. Gordon Smith watching the left, and the shoulder blades, but not watching the right hand of Breaks. Now, of course, he's moved it. back to the submission arm lever. Perfect illegal hold, of course. Back to the same arm. Really weakening that Faulkner left arm now for all he's worth. He's trailing by 1-fall, breaks, and he's determined to get that equalizer. And it's probably going to be a by submission if he has the Again, Bert Royal beefing to the ref. Jim Breaks hears him and goes over and takes the bottom rope in front of him. 2 minutes to go in the fourth. There's that submission arm lever again, that special Breaks move that he's won so many bouts with. Can he do the same again? It's really going over the whole way, look at that. And it's not all the way with the joint by any means, in case that's what it looks like to you at home. But Faulkner's got the other hand into an interlock. Now can he counter with it? Yes, straight arm lift. And Breaks gets out of the ring, and he's getting angry with Bert Royal now. Royal's eyes really spitting anger there as he looks over at the close corner. 1 minute to go. Faulkner a little respite when he holds this head scissors. Just as long as he can keep that left arm away from Breaks, this he must do from now on. Spread doesn't worry him at all. Breaks looking down at me then saying, remember last time he was out, disqualified for punching me, but he omits to say why Faulkner punched him. Oh, great posting. And another one the other side. No, this time Faulkner rolled with his second shot. Over the top. Double leg Nelson. 2-0 if he gets it. On the bell of round 4. Jimmy Breaks. He's trailing. He doesn't like it. He's trying everything to get back into this bout, including all the trickery behind the referee's back when possible. That was what Bert Royal, his opponent's second, was beefing about to the ref.
Seconds out, round 5.
And Bert Royal is still beefing as he gets down to his seat at ringside. So it's round 5. 8 rounds to go. And Faulkner in the light trunks leading Breaks by 1-0. Single leg Boston to Faulkner, almost on. It's just the other foot stopping him. Is on that left arm again. Just what Faulkner is trying to avoid. It certainly looks as though that equalizer could come from an arm submission. A break special. However much he whips, he still has got the arm under his control. And he still hasn't let go. Perfectly legal to take it back as long as he hasn't released completely. Still got the left arm. And he's won that particular battle there. Referee Gordon Smith right down there in case Faulkner decides to submit from it, but not yet. There's the perfect break special. This is the one standing that he gets his submission from so often. Now can Faulkner get out of this again? And a lift from it, and it looks very much like it. Yes. A submission in round 5, just 2 minutes 25 seconds in to round 5. One each now, one fall to one submission. And Bert Royal round here to look after his young brother, almost kicked out of the ring there as he came in.
Ladies and gentlemen, in 2 minutes 25 seconds of the 5th round, the equalizer with the submission to Jimmy Briggs.
So he's happy now. He's finally got that arm submission that he's been going for a long time with the weakness. But we're not halfway through the bout yet. Still 7 rounds to go. And we start round 6 at any time if Vic Faulkner is ready. And if he's not ready, he'll have to be ready because the bell's going any second.
Down, round 6.
He's ready because he's got to be. One each now. Faulkner in the light trunks getting the first fall in the 3rd round. The equalizer to Briggs coming in the 5th. And now 7 rounds to go. And the next score is the one that gets the title. And Faulkner trying to go for the same. Oh, great shoulder wrench. Brace quite certainly was going for a posting then. So was I must admit. That's quite illegal, of course. Use of the top rope like that. But referee Gordon Smith figuring that a little retaliation is deserved from Faulkner's end. Bert Royal there outside the ring, still screaming at his brother not to give. Take it, Vic. Whatever you do, take it. Don't give. And that definitely a punch, exactly the same as last time, a punch with the referee's back turn, talking to Royal. Royal pointing out what had happened, and it's Faulkner going over the top of the folding press. And whether that will go or not, we'll see. But the crowd, you see what the crowd think about it. Briggs won't like it one bit. We'll have to wait and see what the MC announces. But it looks very like a full 2-1 win to Vic Faulkner getting his welterweight title back. His British welterweight title is back, I think. Let's see what the MC says.
Ladies and gentlemen, in the 6th round, the winner, Vic Faulkner.
And Bert Royal fighting Jim Briggs now, and he can do it. Yes, hold it up. And Vic Faulkner holding up the welterweight belt that he's got back after several months. He's missed it. He always swore he'd get it back, and it's back. There's only one man in here that isn't happy about it, and that's his opponent, Jim Briggs, who's still complaining that he was taken unawares there.
The winner!
But it was his punch once again, delivered while the referee's back was turned, that started the trouble. And a happy Vic Faulkner. Oh yes, that smile's back again. The left arm still worrying him. But that grin, that Faulkner grin is back, and even Royal now cooled down. And Jim Breaks, the unhappy one, still beefing.
Come on, let's see you shake hands with him.
Well, from where I sit, he just shouldn't have delivered the punch. He got away with it last time, but this time the referee didn't spot it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Faulkner to continue.
how about one for the loser, Jimmy Break? In the red corner, the Lancashire Stallion, sportsman and country gentleman, Tally-O-K. His opponent in the blue corner, from Wolverhampton, Mr. Adonis, Johnny England.
And you'll see what he means by Mr. Adonis when he takes that jacket off. Here is quite a physique. A physical culturist par excellence. Reminds you of Spencer Churchill. It really is fantastic muscular body, that one. 6 5-minute rounds, 1 fall to decide. That body belongs to Johnny England of Wolverhampton, 12 stone 7. The opposition is Peter Kay from Nelson Lancashire, with Tally-Ho-K written right across his back. So no real trouble with identification here.
Second out, round 1.
6 rounds, 1 fall to decide. Johnny England in the trunks and the dark blue boots. If you're lucky enough to have colour, very sharp indeed. And his first appearance on television, Johnny England, apart from the fact that he was introduced in the ring on a television show once, you may remember, a few months back. I think it was from Solihull. Great physical culturist. He was Mr. Europe in 1972, Mr. Adonis ATV, that's in 1973, Mr. England in 75, and Mr. Central Britain in 1976. Also Mr. Midlands 6 times. Needless to say, of course, he trains with the weights, as you'll see by the side of his biceps in a minute. A little bit unfortunate, of course, that he comes up against a man like Peter Kay, who is inclined to bend the rules just ever so slightly on occasions, and may be forced to against this powerful man. Weight-wise, nothing in it. Johnny England 12-7, Peter Kay 12 stone 4. Caught in an arm lock, England. Hasn't got the experience, of course, of his opponents. But I think he'll have quite a potential. Only turned pro just the end of last year. Bear hug and the backhammer on by Peter Kay. So far, keeping to the rules entirely. But for how long? Forcing England into a backbreaker over the knee.
Ready up.
Well, he's caught the double wrist lock well. Can he make anything of it? No, he can't. Back into the backhammer. Goes Johnny England. He won't turn that way very often again, not against Kay anyway. Johnny England having a bit of a problem keeping his shoulder blades off the canvas this early. Shows how much experience counts. Yes, he meant it too. Much to the surprise of most of the crowd here at Leicester. Just about 90 seconds left in this first round of 6. Remember, the first fall is the one that matters here. Nice quick double arm there by Johnny England. Proving he can turn and still hold that double arms. Can he do it again? He's got a minute.
Now then, strong boy, now then.
Nicely. It's a policy of the promoter, Max Crabtree, for joint promotions, of course, but he is the matchmaker, to put the comparative novices, anyway, especially their first time on television, up against a fairly tough opposition. And whether it pays off, it certainly teaches him a few of the ropes quickly, I suppose. Five seconds. Let's have a closer look at this good-looking boy from Wolverhampton, Johnny England. Well, with all his physical culture titles behind him, I wonder if one day we'll be introducing him as a man with a few wrestling titles. Hasn't had much time yet. Give him a chance and see with that power, maybe he can do it.
Seconds out, round 2.
Round 2, 5 to go. One fall decides the bout. Johnny England versus Peter Talihoke in, of course, his usual white riding breeches. Good backbreaker now. Kay's got both ends, although he's only got one foot. He's still stopping his man from sliding off. And now comes power from both Johnny England's hands on one wrist. Now that does it. Can England make a posting here? He certainly can.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Kay going for the double arm. But he's the wrong way round. He's going the wrong way round. Oh, he's going for the shoulder. Yes. Through the ropes. I think that was in second thoughts, actually. Peter Kay was going for a double arm first there. But he got the wrong hand on the wrong arm there. Full Nelson now to England. See if Kay can break that. Doesn't have to try on this occasion. Johnny England releasing it, probably mistakenly so, trying for the turnover to the full double leg Nelson, which didn't work at all. Now a side surfboard to Kay if he can get his man up. Halfway. Doesn't get it quite right. Kay can never get up now. Still holding the figure 4 leg lock, now released that. Again trying for the shoulder press, but it was a bit loose. And the Johnny England bridge defeating any further possibility of that. So the side headlock by England. Attempted counter coming from Peter Kay if he can get reach where he wants.
Now then, boy, it's all mine now.
He's got the double arm that he had before. He's turning the head so far over, doesn't allow England to turn back, and here comes the power again.
Hey, no!
2 minutes left in the second. England back in charge for the moment. But AK very quickly with a double leg wrestling. He missed with one foot. Still got another chance. If he got both feet right, he might have made that. Well, Peter Kay may be the more experienced of the two, but he's not having it all his own way by any means. Interesting to see these two meet again on television in a year or two's time. But you will notice a difference. Just a minute left.
He's a strong boy, but he's not as strong as me.
Which move seems to belie his last statement, ever so slightly. Single leg Boston is on for Kay. There it is. 30 seconds to go. Goes for the figure four leg lock instead. He's going to try that side surfboard once more, but he can't from a lying down position. Quite impossible. No danger for Kay there, for England there. And it's on the bell. Anyway, too early. The bell will save any further. Query about that. So Peter Kay, incidentally, you may have seen him come into the ring at the beginning of this bout. If you did, you probably saw him blowing that hunting horn of his. It's a bit of a weak imitation of a post-horn gallop as far as I was concerned, but nevertheless, he can at least get a note of it, which is more than I can. Peter, incidentally, has appeared at Hickstead and Horse of the Year shows, and he is quite a show-jumping man. Great rider.
Seconds out, round 3.
Round 3, 4 rounds to go, and one fall decides the bout. Peter Kay in the white riding breeches. And Johnny England showing us his power on his first television appearance, but that's about all, because his experience not really sufficient yet to take on a man, an opponent like he's facing here today. Going for the crotch hold. Getting it, but now can he complete with a slam? Oops, going all the way up. Almost trying a press with him. Very nearly got him up there too. Oh, tried to get up to Johnny Saint and land on his feet there, but it didn't work. This time it did, nicely. Oh no, Kay won't fall for that, but he has got a double leg Nelson folding press on, and that could be it, and it is it. Yes, not sufficient experience yet, but great potential from Johnny England. I'm sure we're going to see a lot more of him. In 1 minute, 20 seconds of round 3, the winner to Kay.